I'm all over the internet because of this job, and I hate feeling so exposed and out there, and that's why I love Delete Me. They help me take control of my digital privacy so I can be peaceful and not paranoid when I'm online and offline. For 20% off an annual plan, go to joindeleteme.com/Delony.
I recently made the decision to move back to California to be closer to family. Just to give you a little background, I've been living in Texas for about 5 years and kind of been living the bachelor lifestyle, single, have my own place, and just hang out with friends on my free time. I have a really good career in aviation, very stable job. And as I enter my 30s, I realize I don't want to be away from family forever. They're about halfway across the country in California, and I decided I'd like to spend more time with them in the coming years as time goes on. And when I made this decision to move back to California, a lot of anxiety came over me in regards to moving from Texas to California for obvious reasons. Mostly like finances and can I do like a stable lifestyle moving back? Just kind of like it's going to be a huge life change, and I'm trying to work through that right now.
What kind of huge life change? Let me say this. I want to call it out. There is nobody's talking about it, but the data shows people are starting to go back to California. So you're not crazy. People left during COVID. There was those 2 years of just chaos and insanity and madness, and it felt like the end of time. There are people saying, okay, I liked being in Texas. It's 1,000 degrees. I miss whatever. And so there is people making their way back across the country, back to California. And so just for whatever that's worth. And yes, it's going to come with higher taxes and yada, yada, yada. But you're not crazy. But the sentiment you're expressing is slowly happening across the country, and the numbers are bearing it out. But what kind of lifestyle are you talking about?
Well, I mean, I'm living a debt-free lifestyle. I was raised the Dave Ramsey way growing up, me and my sister, and have no debt. Lifestyle now.
Why would that change if you moved to California?
Oh no, it's not changing. It's just I have a healthy lifestyle in Texas right now. My apartment's affordable, groceries affordable. I have a good, healthy social life outside of work. Going back to California, I know I'm going to have to kind of rebuild that, which is kind of daunting, kind of intimidating.
But you just did it when you moved to Texas.
Yeah. Yeah. I went to school in Texas in the past, made friends, and then I moved back to California in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of a humbling experience because I expected life to be kind of different. I basically thought I was going to take on the world after I graduated college with a good career and all that stuff. And basically, reality just hit me to where, you can't be successful at everything. And I moved back to Texas in 2019 because my friends were still here and they were still kind of living together. And I wanted to be part of that, be around it. And I wasn't really quite ready to settle down yet. And so I moved back to the Dallas area, and it's been a fun adventure ever since then for the past 5 years. I mean, I've loved it. And I think it's just kind of the idea of that ending also, which is kind of posing a challenge.
I don't understand what your question is. Like, how can I help? Like, are you trying to decide whether you should move, or are you going to move and you're trying to decide how to grieve Texas? Like, what?
Yeah. I'm actually, I'm learning how to grieve Texas. It's kind of I didn't realize how much of a challenge that was going to be.
How old are you?
I am 31.
Yeah, you are in natural transition number 2.
What is that?
That is, I'm just playing the bell curve here, right? This isn't everybody's experience, but by and large, people leave their house at 18. They go to college, they go to work, they move, they do whatever. And then there's this sense that begins to settle in about 28 to 32, which is, I thought my life would be different right now, or things I thought were really important at 24 just aren't, or my job just moved me, or now I'm on kid number 3, or now I want to get married, but it just becomes a transition point.
Right.
And part of that transition point is excitement or, what's the right word? Like just making peace with this is our life, or it's also grieving the life that we had. It was fun to be 25, running around Texas with your old high school buddies, or your old college buddies. That was awesome.
Right.
But I guess my deeper challenge to you is, why do you think you have to go to California? Like you've painted nothing but awesomeness in Texas and nothing but misery in California.
Yeah.
What life thing are you going to solve by going back to California?
Just being closer to family and.
But you left them in the first place.
Yeah, I kind of had the idea that I would be coming back eventually.
For what?
Just after I wasn't really quite sure what was going to go on, but I never had the idea of being away forever.
I know, but you're not answering my question. You're just going on pontificating ideas. You know what I thought I was going to be when I was 18? A heavy metal singer. That's what I thought.
Right.
Did not work out for me. And that's just one of thousands of ideas I had about the world that have proven to be completely wrong, right? So, like, I don't care what your past ideas were. I care now, what kind of life do you want to have? Because if you just pack up and move to California and you make way less money and you can't afford to live with your values and you're sitting 2 houses down from your parents like Ray Romano and you have no friends, no community, you're going to be miserable.
Right.
So I guess what I'm asking you is, what are you going to accomplish by moving to California?
Well, I haven't really thought that deep before.
Like your friends, your community, I'm sure you've dated some people, like your living, your job, everything sounds awesome in Texas, except that it's 5,000 degrees sometimes.
Right.
But I don't know what couldn't be solved with a few plane tickets to, and you work in aviation, that couldn't be solved going to California to visit family and friends. But if your life is in Texas, it's okay.
Yeah.
And just because you didn't imagine it would be like that when you were 21 or 23 or 26 doesn't mean it's not just is. But if you tell me I'm missing my parents, I've got nieces and nephews, I've got an old flame that I want to be around, my parents are aging, like those are reasons to pack up and move, even if it costs you money. But just this idea, like, I want to be around family. Why? I don't know. I don't like them. I don't like my job. I don't like my living situation. I'm not going to be able to live in my values. That's madness.
Yeah, well, I do love my family a lot. We love each other. We aren't at each other's throats or anything. We're very close, and I think as time goes on, I don't want to miss out on anything. And I do have a little niece that I want to be around too, just not too far away. I could see every other weekend. That's one of the big motivators for me to move back. And I think I do want to change in my life.
Great.
I'm kind of ready for a change. And I know my friends, my friends are really cool, but I mean, they're kind of doing the same thing. And they're even talking about moving out of the area too. So that's one reason why I'm kind of making that decision to move back.
Well, that's awesome. Then here's the deal, dude. You make a list of the things you're most scared about. Making new friends, getting a new community, finding a gym, finding a place to live that is reasonable, that's also safe, right? Make a list and rank that list in order of most terrifying, and start there and go in order from easiest to hardest. But just start checking off the list. Because all this stuff is swirling around in your head right now, and it's just making it uncomfortable to brush your teeth in the morning because you have so much social angst, so much just anxiety riddling through your body. Make a list of all the things that are scary about this move, and then just start checking them off a list. And then some of this stuff, you're just going to have to go first and be weird. when it comes to finding an apartment. I'm just going to go first and be weird, sign 6 months. I can do anything for 6 months. I'm just going to go first and be weird. I'm going to join a bowling league or a karate league or a yoga class or a pickleball team. I don't know, dude. Whatever they do in California. But I'm going to go do that thing. And I'm going to go to Guitar Center and I'm going to pull one of the little tabs off one of those things like band seeking bass player. I'm going to do that. Like, I'm going to put myself out there and I'm going to just start challenging myself in this transition. And I think you're going to find peace wherever you go because you've found peace in different locations, which tells me you're a guy who just finds a gang. And so you've done it before, and I think you'll do it again. This time you're just going to have to be intentional about it because it's hard at 30. It's kind of the worst, actually, of the whole world, making friends at 30 and 40. I'm going to go do it. And by the way, don't say I want to be around my niece. Don't make this whole thing about your niece because she can't carry the weight of this move. So say, I want to move to California. I also, when I'm in California, I'm going to get to see my niece. But if you make this all about her, you're going to crush her expectations. Your expectations of her role in your life, no one can live up to that, especially a 2 or 3 or 4-year-old little girl. So best of luck to you, brother. But you're not crazy if you want to leave Texas and go to California. I left Texas to come to Nashville, and it was awesome. But I do miss the Lone Star State.